find out about our expert-led Istanbul tour, see our full schedule of Escorted Turkey tours. It's hard not to speak in superlatives when describing this epic cradle of civilization. No other city in the world has been besieged so many times, so it was greatly coveted by peoples outside its walls. No other city on earth sits astride two continents, not just old age. For centuries it was the most multicultural city in Europe, on whose streets more than a dozen languages were spoken, from Italian to Persian, Greek to Arabic. Above all, it was a city made for trade, built for business. Jews, Turks and Christians hold several tenets. Yet all that got acknowledged. That is gold, historical and critical letters from a gentleman in Constantinople to Feel Friend in London. 1730, established on a triangular spit of land, the area today dominated by the Blue Mosque and Hagia Sophia, the original town was surrounded by water on three sides. This was no shy, retiring little colony, but a confident center of commerce designed to govern one of the most significant waterways in the world, the Bosphorus. Control of this narrow channel connecting the Mediterranean and the Black Sea ensured political clout, a constant stream of innovative ideas, and of course money, in the shape of traffic and taxes. Sailing on the Bosphorus today affords a perfect opportunity to look at the city as the sailors would have seen it centuries ago, its hills bejeweled with the most splendid mosques lovers. Daily boat trips stop at a number of points along its length, like Anatolia Cavity almost at the entrance to the Black Sea. Here you can leave the ferry, eat at one of the fish restaurants by the shore, and wander up to the ruined castle for breathtaking views and a leap of imagination back to the time when Jason was sailing below in search of the Golden Fleece. Nowadays in Turkey, oil tankers jostle with passenger ferries on the waters of the Bosphorus. This is their numbers are but a tiny fraction of the ships that used to flock to Constantinople. In Ottoman days worked 15,000 small boats in the harbor, obscuring its very waters. Frenetic it may have been disorganized, but it certainly was not. When it came to money, the city was a strict and disciplined governess. In the Golden Horn, the capital's sheltered and superb deep-water harbor, boats moored or rowed by the shore to unload, and there as cargoes were carefully inspected by a waiting army of customs officials that calculate them are payable duty. When the Byzantine Empire and the shattered city of Constantinople finally fell to Mehmet the Conqueror and his Ottoman army in 1453, shockwaves reverberated throughout Western Europe and the whole Christian world. Yet Mehmet was a visionary. Just as Constantine had done over a millennium earlier, refounding Byzantium as his new capital and new Rome, Mehmet was determined to restore the city's fortunes and place it on an even higher pedestal. He issued a rallying call for people of all races and religions to come and live and work in the city. It was an open-door policy based on tolerance and freedom designed to invite skills, creativity, and energy. As a 15th century pashas advised the Sultan, would set and trade Constantinople and the Ottoman Empire on the road to success, look with favor on the merchants in the land, always care for them, let no one harass them. For the land becomes prosperous trading through them and by their cheapness of wares abound in the world. Through them the excellent fame of the Sultan to surrounding lands and is being carried by them with the wealth of the land is increased and, within a few decades a whole host of foreign then-parent had stepped over the welcome mat and set up shop. Armenians flourished as jewelers, craftsmen, and traders. Jews but successful perfumers, blacksmiths, and bankers. Italians were busy importing sailed paper and glass. Even the Ingilisa were invited to the party when in 1579 the Sultan Murad III wrote to Elizabeth II welcoming Ingilisa merchants to come and operate a feeling free trade empire. Many of best businesses operated out of the covered bazaar built by Mehmet the Conqueror, which still stands at the very heart of the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul. You can still sense something of the sights, smells, and sounds of old Constantinople, what must have been like if you take some time to explore this labyrinthine city within a city. Down the slope to the Spice Bazaar the lanes are crammed with tiny shops and workshops full of artisans banging out their respective tradesmen. They give a small hint of the cornucopia of goods that once came to the imperial capital from every corner of the globe. For centuries, the Ottoman Empire was the middleman of the world. Its famed merchants uniting three continents, Europe, Africa, and Asia, as far east as China. The bounty of the world did not arrive only by sea. All roads led to Constantinople. Caravans of camels and mules arrived every month, up to 2,000 strong, converging from all points of the horizon, Poland to Arabia, Persia to France. Constantinople had been a magnet for both goods and people long before the Turks arrived, a regular stopping place for Christian pilgrims on the way to Jerusalem. Once the Byzantine Emperor Justinian built the Hagia Sophia in the 6th century, the capital itself became a site of pilgrimage and a top tourist destination. The Hagia Sophia was not any old place of worship, it was the greatest church in Christendom for almost 1,000 years, converted to a mosque by Mehmed the Conqueror. Today it stands as a breathtaking museum open to people of all faiths. All around the Hagia Sophia are solid reminders of the city's glorious past and its longevity. A few hundred meters to the north is the Topkapi Palace, where the Ottoman sultans lived and governed in opulent splendor. A few hundred meters to the south is the Blue Mosque, whose slender minarets define the city's skyline. Beside that is the old Roman Hippodrome, garnished with an Egyptian obelisk. Walking around Istanbul, it's hard to imagine another city that can rival it as an open-air museum. Yet this is no ghost town, no city dyed in the wool trading on old memories. Following the demise of the Ottoman Empire, its renaming is demotion from Istanbul and its capital city, the old city is once again on the rise. Although Ankara is now the political capital of Turkey. Situated at the heart of the country's geographic, Istanbul dwarfs it in population, and also of vibrancy, adorned with some of the finest architectural and artistic wonders in the world, and with an extraordinary historic legacy on every street corner. Istanbul remains Turkey's real social, artistic, and commercial hub, brimming with vitality and activity. Growing at an exponential rate, from 3 million in 1970 to a behemoth with some 11 million inhabitants today, the city continues to be the ultimate cultural crossroads. Its lure and pull are stronger than ever, for a great many people still, albeit its streets are paved with gold.